Community helpers.
Our working group topic focused on family and community literacy. Through the group readings and also the group discussions on D2L, these are some of the points we tried to highlight in our learning activity which we found were important. These include the importance in building teacher-family connections, getting to know more about your community, adapting your teaching style to fit each class, and also giving students the option to personally connect with their assignments. More about how our working group topic of family and community literacy connects with our learning activity included with the resources can be read about further in detail within the rationale document provided.
In this lesson, students will learn about helpers in their community and the impact their actions have on its members. Students will choose a community figure in their life and conduct research online and in person about their community helper's role. Students will use this information to create a presentation to share with the class. To introduce the topic, let's watch a short video.
Hello, my name is Kaylee, and today we're going to talk about jobs that help our communities. Do you know what a community is? A community is a group of people who live and work in the same area. People in your community may play on your sports teams, shop at the same grocery store as you, and play at the same parks as you. People in a community help each other. If one of your friends is moving to a new house, maybe your family will help him pack up his things and load his moving van. This is an example of how we help people in our community. Some people have jobs where they get paid to help people in their communities. Can you think of what some of these jobs might be? Firefighters are community helpers. If there is a fire in a neighborhood or in nature around your community, it is a firefighter's job to put the fire out and keep people and property safe from the flames. EMTs and paramedics are community helpers. If there is an accident or someone is hurt or injured, the EMTs and paramedics will come with their ambulance and help the injured people get to the hospital. Doctors and nurses are community helpers. They take care of sick and hurt people. Farmers are community helpers. They grow healthy foods to feed the community. Have you ever been to a farmer's market? A farmer's market is when all the farmers in your community gather to sell their food to people in their community. There are so many ways to help your community. Can you think of more community helpers? Like the garbage man, your babysitter, the lifeguard at the pool, your town's mayor, teachers, police officers, artists, construction workers, park rangers, librarians. There's so many. But you can be a community helper too. You can help the people in your community by picking up litter, wearing your helmet when you ride your bike, and being nice to pets and animals. Practice being a community member and play the online games and quizzes. Have fun and remember to always be clever. Hey, hey. Hello, my name is Kate.
Who are some community helpers you know? What do they do? What would happen if we didn't have any community helpers?
After looking at different community helpers and understanding how they make a positive impact on the community, the students will then be given the task of completing an assignment. For this assignment, students will first have to choose someone within their community or a family member which they would like to learn more about their career and how their career makes a positive impact on the community. So this could be either a community doctor, firefighter, or even someone in their family which they look up to and they would like to learn more about their career. To start things off, students will receive a project organizer to fill out about a chosen figure in their community. This is a simple questionnaire sheet which gives the basics of what their job is and goes into detail describing how their job plays an impact in the community and affects one another. To complete this questionnaire, the research will be completed on computers during class time and through interviews with the chosen figure outside of school. So within class time, students will do Google searches and other article searches learning about their chosen career and getting a better idea of it. And then with that information, the students will go and interview their chosen community helper and then get to understand how that person specifically helps their own community. Compiling all this information and questions answered about their community helper, the students will then have the job of creating a PowerPoint. This PowerPoint highlights everything important that chosen community helper does and how they directly impact their own community. After all the PowerPoints are done from each student, students will then get the opportunity to present their PowerPoints with the class and community in a get-together. The teacher will organize an event which allows students, family members, and even community members to come by and learn a new career that they were maybe unsure of before and how that career is making a positive impact on the community.
After this lesson, students will be able to identify different types of jobs within their community and describe how these jobs benefit the community.
Within the assignment, students will be given a project organizer or a questionnaire sheet to help guide them through answering the main questions needed in this assignment. So to start things off, the question is, who is your community helper? Like I said previously, this can be someone in the community that the student knows or one of their family members who they would like to know more about their career. Next, they will answer, what do they do? This can be just a simple job description or what that person does on a day-to-day basis, and they can learn this through interviewing the person directly or through looking on online resources. Next, the student will ask, what qualifications or traits does someone need to do this job? So for qualifications, the student will ask, is there any schooling needed to get into this job? Is there experience needed? And for traits, the students will look at what traits would make someone better at this job versus not. Finally, students will answer, what role does your community helper play in the community? So by interviewing and asking the community helper that they have chosen directly, they will learn important aspects of how that person is directly influencing their own community and making the community a better space for everyone. Now that we have got an idea of what the assignment and learning task is, let's go into an example solution that a teacher could use in his or her own class to better help explain the assignment. So for this example solution, I thought that the teacher who was giving the lesson could actually put themselves as a community helper as the example. So for this example, teachers would create their own PowerPoint with visuals and other text and references talking about their career and how they make a positive impact on the community. For the community helper, the teacher would list his or her name in that section and their career, of course, being the teacher. What do teachers do? So what do they do? Teachers educate and guide students. This is a very brief and general summary of what teachers do, but that is what is expected of students on the assignment. Students do not need to go into every detail about the community helper and what they do on a day-to-day basis. So, for example, if a student was doing firefighters, they don't need to describe how they specifically wash cars and train for 3 to 4 hours every day. If a student just highlighted that firefighters are there to help put out fires and keep the community safe, that is sufficient enough. So going back to a teacher, what are the qualifications and traits needed for the job? So the schooling needed for a teacher is a minimum of a 4-year education degree from university. There's also different routes that teachers can take, and teachers can also get a master's within education, which is an extra 2 years on top of that. Teachers can also get a PhD on top of that, which is an extra 4 to 6 years. And if a teacher wants, they could go into university with a bachelor's in science, math, English, which is 4 years, and do a 2-year after degree in education. This is just highlighting some of the different ways to get into that specific career, but highlighting at least a minimum of 4 years in education in university is needed. The traits needed to be a good teacher is someone who is patient, a leader, caring, and dedicated to one's work. So what is the impact teachers have on their community? So teachers set students up for their future in terms of obtaining knowledge and gaining inspiration. This is a very brief and general explanation of what teachers do, but there's also other impacts teachers make on their community, which they can highlight themselves. So for example, if a teacher in their own community and they set up clubs, they organize events, they coach sports, other stuff like that that makes a positive impact to the community, and that's teachers specifically, they can highlight to the class, showing how they are a community helper themselves. So through this example and showing what a community helper is and how to present it, it'll give students inspiration on how they want to create their assignment and go through with showing a positive community helper within their own community. In order to properly answer the following questions, students will be instructed to find online resources discussing the profession they would like to learn more about. So through various Google searches and looking through many different articles online, students will get a better understanding of what the career is and how it impacts communities. This is where students will gain the sense of online literacy and how that connects to the 4 resources framework. This can be read in further detail within the rationale document provided.
Now, the goal of this activity is to promote family and community literacy within classroom practices. But there are a lot of pedagogical strategies that are incorporated within that activity, and this activity is going to include 3 main ones that we will discuss. So the first one is group discussions, and group discussions is where students are going to be sharing and exploring new ideas through profound interactions with their classmates. And as a part of the activity, they're going to be participating in a talking circle prior to their presentation. So the students are going to be placed in circles consisting of 4 to 5 students where they will take turns and give an overview of their presentation. And this is going to be providing those students with a chance to rehearse, to develop confidence, to present in front of a greater crowd. And students are also going to be learning to listen to their peers and developing empathic appreciation for sharing their thoughts. So this is going to be allowing students to learn interesting facts about other important leaders within their own community. And overall, the strategy is really just focusing on student confidence when engaging with peers within the classroom. The second pedagogical strategy is the independent study. So this strategy is more of an individualized form of education, so it's going to be enabling students to take initiative of their learning. So the process of an independent study is pretty much where students are going to be selecting a topic of their choice and defining any potential questions that come with that, and analyzing information and creating a product to display their learning. And this activity follows the same procedure because students are given flexibility to choose a leader within the community, and it could be of anyone that's important to them. So students are going to be continuing to research and prepare a PowerPoint to display whatever they learned. And through this strategy, the students are going to be able to learn, gather, and analyze reports on their own and develop in-depth understanding on the topics and make connections between classroom and real life, which is great. And overall, the strategy is all about accepting different learning styles within the classrooms. So students are given the flexibility to choose whoever they want and research about that person in whatever way they want. So really the student is in charge here. Now, the last pedagogical strategy is integrating technology within the classroom. So this is probably the most common and most useful one with everything going on right now in the world. And just in general, as the world is becoming more and more advanced, it's really, really important that teachers are incorporating technology within their classroom practices. And this can be through either using technology to teach or having the students learn through using technology. And technology is the base that's motivating the students to want to learn. And here, the activity is providing the students with the opportunity to learn how technology works by making a PowerPoint presentation. And students are able to use technology within the classroom for any research that they may need. And just overall, this is a vital component classroom practice that should be cultivated to make sure that students are enjoying the learning process. And just in general, all three of these pedagogical strategies are going to be benefiting the student and also still focusing on the main activity goal, which is to promote family and community literacy, which is great.
Finally, to wrap up this learning activity, here's a practical artifact which lists how technology, creating an engaging event, and how strengthening student-teacher relationships can be beneficial in any classroom.